Namaste, all my dear students. In today's session, we are going to discuss about impacted ear wax. Myself, Dr. Hemant Vyas, Associate Professor and Head of Department of Surgery, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. In this session, we are going to discuss about how the wax is formed, the symptoms and causes related to impaction of the earwax, and the treatment which we advocate to the patient or which we prescribe to the patient for relief from this impacted wax. So let's begin. So in this diagram we can see the earwax which is obstructing the external ear canal. Let's move further. Now introduction. Wax is the natural secretion of ceruminous gland and sebaceous glands in the cartilaginous part of the external auditory canal. Under normal circumstances, it occurs as fine flakes which fall off while chewing, but it may accumulate in the ear due to various reasons. The function of the wax is to remove small foreign particles such as dust from the canal. This is achieved by the ciliary hairs. Now, what is impacted earwax? Excessive collection of thick wax earwax is known as impacted wax. Now, etiological factors which are responsible for impaction of wax: variation in chemical composition of the wax, excessive secretion of earwax, defective shape of external auditory canal, retention by stiff hair in ear canal, and dusty occupation can lead to impaction of earwax. Now this is an image in which we can clearly see there is impacted earwax which can be seen as blackish or brownish colored, or it may be yellowish color. It may completely occlude the canal or it may partially occlude the canal. Now let's see what are the symptoms. First symptom is diminished hearing. So impacted earwax is responsible sometimes for deafness. Is commonest cause of conductive deafness, which is due to mechanical obstruction. Deafness may be percepted. Deafness may be increased by water entering the ear, which while taking bath, which swells the wax. Discomfort in the ear. Patient seldom complains of pain unless the wax is pressing on the eardrum. Tinnitus. Occasionally, patient may experience tinnitus. Itching. Wax often produces irritation in the ear, which can lead to itching. Next symptom is giddiness, which is occasionally present. Otorrhea. Otorrhea is secondary infection occurs. Then there is otorrhea, usually as a result of scratching the ear. Otorrhea may begin. Now let's study what is the treatment advised to the patient for impacted earwax. So before removing the earwax, it has to be softened. So let's study what are the softening agents and their indications and contraindications. So wax softening agents. First is sodium bicarbonate drops. Wax is softened by 5% sodium bicarbonate ear drops installed 5 to 6 times a day for 3 to 8 days. Then next is hydrogen peroxide drops. This can soften the wax, but it should not be used as it may cause severe pain. And if the patient has a perforation of the eardrum, the bubbles of hydrogen peroxide may enter the middle ear and the mastoid cavity and lead to mastoiditis. Then our third is oil, which should be boiled for 5 to 6 times to sterilize it, and then cooling it to room temperature, and then only we can use the oil for softening the wax, and it is a time honored wax softener. Now let's study the process of removal of ear wax. So generally it is carried out by two methods in OPD basis: hooking out and syringing. Now let's study how to hook out the wax. It is performed by a wax hook or a vectis, which is passed beyond the wax, and then it is pressed against the floor and wax is hooked out. This technique should not be used if it causes pain or if wax is very hard. And prior history of otorrhea should alert the surgeon regarding possibility of perforation in the tympanic membrane. So that's how wax hook can be used to remove the ear wax. Next method is ear irrigation or syringing. So syringing is the best way to remove wax after it has been softened by sodium bicarbonate ear drops. Ear irrigation is to improve hearing in those with impacted wax. The lowest pressure possible should be used in this. It is best to avoid ear irrigation if the eardrum is known or suspected to be perforated, if there is history of mastoid surgery or chronic middle ear disease, if patient has bilateral or unilateral deafness, a history of recurrent otitis externa or tinnitus is there. So this is the syringe which is used for irrigation, ear irrigation. Hope you like the presentation. Thank you very much.